Hi everyone, welcome to the session of cyber laws. So before getting into sections, we should know the importance of cyber laws and why we are studying this in our course. So first we have to take a look into our daily lives. Right from the morning when we get up, we start our day by checking our phones that are directly connected to the internet. We have everything inside our phones from personal life to professional. Even when we travel, we depend on our phone for guidance or wherever we go. Our information is there on these devices and these devices remain with us. So if we take the technology stuff back from the user, he will succumb to difficulties without it. In some way or the other, we have uploaded all our information on social media. We also interact with our money online these days, but we don't know whether this information is stored and how it can be misused. So it affects our life so much. It is important to have rules and regulations for it. Imagine a road without traffic rules. Without it, the entire crowd on the road will be a mess. In the same way, we need to have rules for the cyberspace. The same way, we have some regulations and protocols for the internet and activities we do online. Without these laws, the internet will be like a road without traffic rules and traffic police. These laws are given in the Act of Indian Parliament, so we call them Information Technology Act 2000 or simply IT Act or ITA 2000. In India, Information Technology Act has a total of 13 chapters covering 90 sections with subsections, but we will only study chapter 11 offences which have a section from 65 to 78. So let's begin. So the first section is section 65, tampering with computer source document. It says, whoever knowingly or intentionally conceals, destroys or alters, or intentionally or knowingly causes another to conceal, destroy or alter any computer source document used for a computer program, computer system or computer network when the computer source code is required to be kept or maintained by law for the time being in force. This section simply says if a person knowingly or intentionally himself or causes another to conceal, destroy or alter any computer source document which is required to be kept by law or maintained by law for the time being in force will be held liable under section 65, and the penalty for it will be the person liable shall be punishable with the imprisonment up to 3 years or with fine which may extend to 2 lakh rupees or with both. For the explanation of computer source document is given here. For the purpose of this section, computer source document means the listing of programs, computer commands, design and layout, and program analysis of computer resource in any form. Now, section 66, computer related offences. If any person dishonestly or fraudulently does any act referred to in section 43. So for understanding section 66, we need to understand two things. First, the definition of fraudulently and dishonestly in IPC section 24 and 25 and section 43. So first, let's understand the definition of fraudulently and dishonestly. Fraudulently. A person is said to do a thing fraudulently if he does that thing with the intent to defraud but not otherwise. Dishonestly. Whoever does anything with the intention of causing wrongful gain to one person or wrongful loss to another person is said to do that thing dishonestly. Now, section 43. Penalty for and compensation for damage to computer system, etc. If any person without permission of the owner or any other person who is in charge of that computer system or computer network tries to access or secure access through such computer system or computer network or computer resource, or tries to download copies or extract any data or information that is stored on these computers, or try to extract the information or data held in some removable storage device like pen drive, or tries to introduce or cause any contamination to the computer or introduce any virus to the computer, or tries to damage or cause damage to any computer system or computer network, data, computer database or any other program residing in such computer system or computer network will be held liable under section 43. So there are some few more points, you can read it by yourself. So after understanding both these things, now we will understand section 66 more properly. If any person dishonestly or fraudulently does any act referred to in section 43. So if a person does any of these acts with the intention of dishonesty and fraudulently, then he will be liable under section 66 computer related offences, and the punishment will be the person liable shall be punishable with the imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 years, or with fine which may extend to 5 lakh rupees, or with both. Section 66A, punishment for sending offensive messages through communication service, etc. Any person who sends by any means of a computer source or communication device any information that is grossly offensive or has threatening character or menacing character, or the information he knows that is sending is false, but he continues to send that information for the purpose of causing annoyance, inconvenience, danger, obstruction, insult, injury, criminal intimidation, enmity, hatred, or ill will, persistently, continuously, by making use of such computer resource or communication device, or he sends an electronic mail or electronic mail message for the purpose of causing annoyance or inconvenience, or to deceive or to mislead the person at the end, or the person who is receiving the message, that is the recipient, about the origin of such message, then he will be liable under section 66A. So the explanation of the term electronic mail and electronic mail messages is given. Terms electronic mail and electronic mail message means a message or information created or transmitted or received on a computer, computer system, computer resource, or communication device, including attachment in text, image, audio, video, and any other electronic record which may transmit it with the message. And the penalty for this section is the person held liable shall be punishable with the imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 years and with fine. So here is an update on section 66A. On March 24, 2015, the Supreme Court rules out section 66A of IT Act as unconstitutional for being vague. And the current news for on the section 66A is also given. So the question arises, does this section still exist? Let's see. Statutes can only be changed via amendment, and if Parliament does not pass an enabling amendment to give effect to the Supreme Court decision, then the unconstitutional provision will remain in the text. So, if one accesses Indian Court, the official source for the text of central status, the section 66A still exists. So it's quite clear that section 66A has been ruled out by the Supreme Court, but the Parliament has not passed an amendment due to which the section 66A still exists in the Indian Code, that is the official source for the text of central statutes. On July 24, 2017, a person filed a PIL alleging presence of repealed section in IT law. The Supreme Court today refuses to hear a plea seeking a direction to the centre to notify that section 66A of the IT Act has been struck down and it should not find a place in the statute book. Section 66A of IT Act, struck down by the Apex Court on March 24, 2015, as being unconstitutional, still finds a mention in the law books, and strangely, some courts are still entertaining case under the provision the plea alleged. Section 66B, punishment for dishonestly receiving stolen computer resource or communication device. Section 66B says, whoever dishonestly receives or retains any stolen computer resource or communication device, knowing or having reason to believe the same is to be stolen computer resource or communication device, will be held liable under section 66B. This simply says if you are retaining or receiving any stolen computer and you know or you have a reason to believe that the same is stolen resource or communication device, then you will be liable under section 66B. And the penalty will be, the person liable shall be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 3 years, or with fine which may extend to rupees 1 lakh, or with both. Section 66C, punishment for identity theft. Whoever fraudulently or dishonestly make use of electronic signature password, or any other unique identification feature or of any other person. This section simply says if you are using the password or electronic signature, password, or any unique identification of any person fraudulently or dishonestly, then you will be liable under section 66C. And the punishment will be the person liable shall be punished with the imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 3 years and shall also be liable to fine which may extend to 1 lakh rupees. Section 66D, punishment for cheating by personation using computer resource. Whoever, by means of any communication device or computer source, cheat by personation. Personation means to be pretend someone to be else. So the penalty for this, the person shall be punished with the imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 3 years and shall also be liable to fine which may extend to 1 lakh rupees. Section 66E, punishment for violation of privacy. Whoever intentionally or knowingly captures, publishes, or transmits the image of a private area of any person without his or her consent, under circumstances violating the privacy of that person. So, for understanding this section very clearly, there are some definitions, the meaning of some terms are given. So, let's see. Transmit means to electronically send a visual image with the intent that it will be viewed by a person or persons. Capture, with respect to an image, means to videotape, photograph, film, or record by any means. Private area means the naked or undergarment, clad genitals, pubic area, buttocks, or female breast. Publishes means reproduction in the printed or electronic form and making it available for public. Under circumstances violating privacy means circumstances in which a person can have a reasonable expectation that he or she could disrobe in privacy without being concerned that an image of his private area was being captured, or any part of his or her private area would not be visible to the public regardless of whether that person is in a public or private area. So this punishment under this section is the person shall be punished with the imprisonment which may extend to 3 years or with fine not exceeding 2 lakh rupees or with both. Section 66F, punishment for cyber terrorism. Whoever with the intent to threaten the unity, integrity, security, or sovereignty of India, or to strike terror in the people or any section of the people by denying or cause the denial of access to any person authorized to access secure computer resource, or attempting to penetrate or access a computer resource without authorization or exceeding authorization access, or introducing or causing to introduce any computer contaminant, and by means of such conduct causes or is likely to cause death or injuries to a person or damage or to destruction of property or disrupt, or knowing that it is likely to cause damage or disrupt of supplies or services essential to life of the community, or adversely affect the critical information infrastructure specified under section 70. So this section says that if a person with the intent to threaten the unity, integrity, security, or sovereignty of India, or just to strike terror in the people or any section of the people, and if he denies or cause denial to any person who is authorized to access the computer resource, or tries to penetrate or gain access to any computer resource without authorization, or even after gaining authorization he exceeds his authorization limit, or he introduce any virus or contaminate the computer source, so he will be liable under section 66F. The D point we are leaving here because we will study this deeply when we will study section 70 in the next video. So the person liable under section 66F, whoever commits or conspires to commit cyber terrorism shall be punishable with the imprisonment which may extend to imprisonment for life. Section 67. Punishment for publishing or transmitting obscene material in electronic form. Whoever publishes or transmits or causes to be published in the electronic form any material which is lascivious or appeals to be prurient interest, or it affects in such as to tend to deprave and corrupt persons who are likely having regard to all relevant circumstances to read, see, or hear the matter contained or embodied in it. The penalty for section 67 will be the person liable shall be punished on first conviction with the imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 3 years and with fine which may extend to 5 lakh rupees, and in the event of second or subsequent conviction with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 5 years and also with fine which may extend to 10 lakh rupees. Section 67A, punishment for publishing or transmitting of material containing sexually explicit act, etc. in electronic form. Whoever publishes or transmits or causes to be published or transmitted in the electronic form any material which contains sexually explicit act or conduct. The penalty for this section will be the person liable shall be punished on first conviction with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 5 years or with fine which may extend to 10 lakh rupees, and in the event of second or subsequent conviction with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 7 years and also with fine which may extend to 10 lakh rupees. So in this section, if any person publishes or transmits or causes to be published or transmit in any electronic form which contains sexually explicit acts or conduct will be liable under section 67A. The exception for this section and section 67 does not extend to any book, pamphlet, paper, writing, drawing, painting, representation or figure in electronic form, the publication of which is proved to be justified as being for the public good on the ground that such book, pamphlet, paper, writing, drawing, painting, representation or figure is in the interest of science, literature, art or learning or the other objects of general interest, or which is kept or used bona fide for religious purposes. So section 67 and section 67A will not be applicable to both these points. These are the exceptions for these sections. Section 67B, punishment for publishing or transmitting of material depicting children in sexually explicit act, etc. in electronic form. This says, whoever publishes or transmits or causes to be published or transmitted any material in any electronic form which depicts children engaging in sexually explicit act or conduct, or creates text or digital images, collects, seeks, browses, downloads, advertises, promotes, exchanges or distributes material in any electronic form depicting children in obscene or indecent or sexually explicit manner, or cultivates, entices or induces children to online relationship with one or more children for and on sexually explicit act or in a manner that they offend a reasonable adult on the computer resource, or facilitates abusing children online, or record in an electronic form own abuse or that of other pertaining to sexually explicit act with children. So this act basically covers the child pornography, is made for the protection of children from all these sexually explicit acts or conduct. So the penalty under section 67B will be the person held liable shall be punished on first conviction with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 5 years and with a fine which may extend to 10 lakh rupees, and in the event of second or subsequent conviction with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 7 years and also with a fine which may extend to 10 lakh rupees. Here also the section 67A and section 67B will not be applicable to both these points, the publication of which is proved to be justified as being for the public good on the ground that such book, pamphlet, paper writing, drawing, painting, representation or figures is in the interest of science, literature, art or learning or other objects of general interest, or which is kept or used for bona fide heritage of religious purposes. Section 67C, preservation and retention of information by intermediaries. Intermediary shall preserve and retain such information as may be specified for such duration in such manner and format as the central government may prescribe. This section simply says if central government has prescribed any manner or in any format for preserving and retaining information in for a specified duration, then the intermediaries should follow. And if any intermediary who intentionally or knowingly contravenes the provision of subsection 1, then he will be liable under section 67, and the penalty will be the person held liable shall be punished with the imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 years and shall also be liable to fine. Section 68. Power of controller to give direction. This section says the controller may, by order, direct a certifying authority or any employee of such authority to take such measures or ceases carrying on such activities as specified in the order if those are necessary to ensure compliance with the provision of this Act, rules, or any regulations made thereunder. This section says that if a controller has given an order or given a direction to a certifying authority or any employee of the certifying authority to take some measures or to stop carrying some activities which are specified in the order in order to protect, which are necessary to ensure that the compliance of the provision of this Act or any rules or any regulations made thereunder. So the person who will not follow this will be liable under section 68. So any person who intentionally or knowingly fails to comply with any order under subsection 1 will be held liable under section 68. The penalty for this will be the person held liable shall be guilty of an offence and shall be liable on the conviction to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 2 years or to a fine not exceeding 1 lakh rupees or both. So we will cover the section 69 and to 78 in the next video. Thank you.